Good morning and good evening, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. Yesterday, we have spoken about what is on premises and what is cloud technology, what is Azure. Clearly, I have explained. So, anybody new today? So, please, tell me that. Tell me if you're free to. If you're new today, I will be able to send you the yesterday's recording video that has been uploaded in my YouTube channel, Go Online Trainings YouTube channel, or you can go to Bhaskar Jogi YouTube channel and subscribe. You will be able to see lot of existing demos. Now, today is the final demo, on Azure Data Engineering. So today the agenda will be what is ADF. Yesterday, I spoken about what is on-premises and what is the cloud and what is Azure we discussed. And today, let us talk about what is ADF. Okay, what is Azure Data Factory? What is ETL? What is ELT? We'll talk about it. And today, we'll talk about what is data engineering, data analytics, blah, 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 data science, everything I'll be able to talk about today. Now, I wanted to tell you that if you wanted to work with the data, because end of the day, many companies are working with the data. Data is currency today. That is what people will say. Data is next generation fuel, right? If you wanted to uh, work with anything. Today, every application needs data, every technology needs data. We're talking about driverless cars, we're talking about robotics, we're talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about a lot of things today. Everybody needs, a data. But the question is that what is the data you have? That is what is important. What is the size of the data you have to know? Clear? Depends upon the data, the companies are going to store the data in different places. When the data size is small, clear? If the data size is in KB or megabytes, companies are going to be storing the data into the files, maybe an Excel file, or maybe your notepads. You may be storing the data, or maybe your PDF files, or maybe your XML files, blah blah blah. When you have small amount of data, clear, the data is going to be stored in the files in the IT industry. So this is depends upon the size. When the data size is in, let us say, GBs, thinking about phone pay company or Amazon company data, every month they will be able to get GBs of data. GBs of data, maybe medium size of the data. This data we will not be able to keep them in the files. This is where we are going to be using a DBMS or relational database management system. This kind of a softwares we are going to be using to store the data. Remember that. Clear? When you have this kind of a data, so GBs of data, medium size of the data, SQL or database management systems going to be used. With the help of that, you're going to be storing the data. Clear? So if you have a lot of blood, where will you store the blood? Blood bank. If you have a lot of gold, where will you store the gold bank. If you have lot of data, GBs of data, where will you store the data? Data bank. The data bank is called database. Clear? DB means database. Database means data bank. Data bank is called as database management system or relational database management system or softwares. Clear? When you have a large amount of data, the companies are going to be storing the data into the data banks or nothing but these are your storerooms or the godowns. Clear? When you have a large amount of gold, we are going to be using a gold bank, a blood bank, Chiranjeevi blood bank, Apollo Hospital blood bank, Care Hospital blood bank. A lot of blood banks are available, right? Lot of RDBMS or databases softwares are available. The popular tool is called Oracle. Okay, Oracle is the popular tool. You can use either this software or Microsoft SQL Server. It is Microsoft SQL Server Data Bank. It is also known as SQL Server. Oracle is also called as a SQL software only. SQL language going to be used in this. The same name also they have taken and they have implemented. So SQL Server is also SQL software or RDBMS software. Oracle is also SQL software, RDBMS software, that you have to understand. So IBM company DB2 database 2000, it is from IBM company's software. IBM has one more software called Netezza. It is also IBM, SQL software. So Teradata, right? Teradata is from the Teradata company. You have MySQL. It is a free version. Everybody is going to be using free version, but you cannot store large amount of data here. MySQL or PostgreSQL, or people will say Postgres. Lot of tools are available worldwide. All these tools are called as SQL tools or RDBMS tools. If you wanted to store GBs of data, we are going to be using either Oracle or SQL Server or DB2, Netezza, Teradata, MySQL, any one data bank we are going to be using. If you need a blood, you may be using Apollo Hospital Blood Bank or a Chiranjeevi Charitable Trust Blood Bank or Kim's Hospital Blood Bank. You have to go and fetch the data. Clear? Database nothing but a tank or a bank. Tank, what you do in the tank? You put the water, you get the water. In SQL, what you do? You put the data, you get the data. That's it. So what are the two operations that we're going to be doing inside SQL or inside your RDBMS? Means you store the data, you retrieve the data. If there is a tank, in the tank, what you do? You put the water, you get the water. SQL is similar to a bigger tank, bigger go down, bigger storeroom. That is what you need to understand. Clear? So using a computer, if you wanted to store large amount of data, small amount of data means we can use Excel sheets. For example, my company Go Online Trainings Inquiries data, I'll be writing in an Excel sheet because every day I'll get 100 inquiries. So 1 month inquiries are 3,000. 3,000 inquiries, size may be 3 KB, 5 KB of data. That I can easily store in the in smaller, Excel or any CSV files or something like that. Okay. When the data size is bigger, we are going to be using them in the SQL. But now, every month, Amazon company is going to be getting 500 GB of data into 12 months data. It will become 6,000 GB of data, which is equivalent to 6 terabytes of data. But I would like to store 10 years of data. So 6 terabytes data into 10 years, it will become 60 terabytes of data. Now, slowly, the data turning into terabytes, right? So when the data size is in GB, we are going to be storing the data into the, what do you say, in the SQL. But when the data size is in terabytes, this is what is large data, right? When you have a large data, normal, this kind of a systems cannot be used. We are going to be using a system called data warehousing tools. Clear? So this is the systems that are going to be implemented in your IT industry. Clear? So if you know, IT industry is started because in 1920, Charles Babbage invented a computer. Computer invention is happened in this. Clear? In 1930, right? People are using binary language to communicate with the computer. What is the binary language? Ones and zeros. Yeah, am I clear? If you wanted to communicate with the computer in 1920, 30, people were using a language called binary language, zeros and ones. It was very, very difficult. So, in 1940, scientists have invented a language called A language that is failed. In 1950, the computer engineers have invented one more language called B that is also failed. In 1960, they have invented a language which is more popular today. Who invented? Bell Laboratories. So, USA. Bell Laboratories, USA invented Dr. Dennis Ritchie. Okay? Dr. Dennis Ritchie invented this language, it became so popular in 1960s. People are using it. But whatever be the reason, you have a lot of issues. Then there is a advanced C language got released. So this is what is called C++. Clear? So same guys, Bell Laboratories only, you were able to get the C++. So in 1970s, so however we have advanced C language, the same way in 80s, okay, 80s we got Java and we got a lot of other languages. Java in 1990, Java is similar to your advanced C language only, nothing but C++ language, right? Lot of issues are there in the C language. That is the reason people have to invent this language. Now, Java in 1990s, there is a language called Python, right? In year 2000, there is a language called Microsoft .NET, right? Lot of things have been introduced like that. So, this is the complete history about our languages. Clear? Now, if you go back and see, we are able to get a lot of things here. Even your files, people were storing the data in 1960s. People started using files, and when RDBMS has got released, RDBMS got released in 1970s. Clear? At this period, we got one more software got into SQL and RDBMS. Clear? In 1990s, we got even data warehouse is going to be data warehouse is released. Clear? If you wanted to store large amount of data, terabytes of data, normal SQL is not sufficient. You have to have different tools, different softwares. Those are called data warehousing softwares, data warehousing tools. You should not write where space house, or you should not write like this, or you should not write like this. Data warehouse, not like this. Okay. So warehouse is a single word. Now, how data warehouse can be prepared? So if you want to create a data warehouse, large hardware you need to buy, but software wise, same SQL software. You may install a Teradata, you may install Netezza or SQL Server, Oracle. Same software you have to install. Clear? So this is what is called data warehousing. Data warehousing is a bigger hardware where same SQL software can be installed. Am I clear? So that you can have large amount of data can be stored and processed. Clear? So that was a story until 1990s. Let me give you one example. I have my laptop. What is my laptop configuration? Let me give you. My laptop configuration is 4 GB of RAM, i5 processor, and 1 terabyte of hard disk. In my laptop, I have installed SQL. SQL means Oracle software. Any software, if I install, maximum data I can store 1 terabyte. But other hand, I have taken, let us say, 100 GB of RAM, and let us say I have 50 i5 processors, very big processors, and I'm having 100 terabyte of hard disk, very bigger laptop or a hardware I have purchased. Inside this, I have installed SQL software. SQL means Oracle, SQL Server, any software. When you install, what is the maximum data you can store? 100 terabytes. Why? Because disk capacity is more. When the hardware capacity is more, in the same hardware, when you install Oracle or the SQL Server, it is called as a data warehousing Oracle server or Microsoft SQL Server data warehousing server. Clear? So what is a data warehouse? Data warehouse means a large hardware where same software, SQL software, we're going to be installing and we are going to be using. Hardware wise, it is very, very bigger, right? You have a drum and you have a plastic, you have a bucket. Bucket is also plastic, a drum is also plastic, but bucket can accommodate 30 liters of water. Drum or the tank can accommodate 5,000 liters of water. Both of them are made of a plastic only. Both of them are SQL only. But if I install SQL software in my laptop, I can store maximum 1 terabyte of data, because that is the maximum capacity of my hardware. Okay. So if you buy a bigger hardware, inside that you can store large amount of data. So data warehouse is a layman terminology, is large hardware ways one of the SQL software or RDBMS software is installed. That is what you got to understand. Yeah, am I clear? So this was a story in year 2000. So after year 2000, what is happened? Lot of internet, social media. Because of that, what is happened? The data is not there in the small size. It is there in the petabyte data, zettabyte data. It is unlimited data, zettabyte data, yottabyte of data. This kind of a data is called as Excel data or extra large data. Excel data, or we can say double XL data, right? We'll say triple XL data. This kind of a data is been given a special name by Google company. This kind of a data is called as a big data. Who has given the name? The Google company has given this name year 2003, right? So when the company is telling me this is a big data, this kind of a data is called as a now small data. Clear? So, whatever be the data we're talking about, maybe KB of data, GBs of data, maybe terabytes of data is called as a small data. Now, after year 2000, because of social media, because of what? Social media, and because of internet worldwide, people started using hardware become cheaper. Many people started using the internet hardware. Because of these three reasons, lot of data started coming in. This kind of a data is called as a big data. Clear? We have a small data and we have a big data, right? Small data you can store in files or in SQL or in the data warehousing. Big data, how to store the big data? So big data name given by Google company, but how do we store? There is a company called Apache software company is released a software called Apache Hadoop. When? In year 2006. Clear? It was big hit in the worldwide market. If you wanted to store large amount of data, unlimited data, we are going to be using Apache Hadoop. But Apache Hadoop got a lot of issues, and you have one more software got released. That is what is called Apache Spark in year 2009. Am I clear? So many people are going to be using the data now today in Apache Hadoop. Why Apache Hadoop became failure? Because Apache is going to be storing the data. Afterwards you need to process the data. Storing the data is in the hard disk. When you store any data in the hard disk, it will be slow. For the processing of the data, processing means I have two numbers, I wanted to know what is the sum of those numbers. I wanted to perform sum, min, maximum, average, count. So any aggregation I wanted to do, I have to write a language, right? Inside the Hadoop, if you wanted to store the data, all the data is been stored in the hard disk. Clear? And if you wanted to process, you need to have a language called Java. Java is very, very complex language, right? So Apache can store large amount of data, fine. But you store the data in the disk and it became so slow because we are talking about large amount of data, big data now. Because of these two reasons, Apache Hadoop has failed into the market, right? So immediately Apache Spark is released by which company? Apache Software Foundation, which is not a company, which is a charitable organization. These softwares are free. Hadoop is free, Apache Spark is free. So today everybody is going to be using Apache Spark to store the data. Now Apache Spark is going to be using the RAM. All the data can be stored in the RAM. Because of this, it is 100 times faster. Okay, 100 times which is faster. Why everybody is using Apache Spark today? Because data is going to be stored earlier in the disk, today in the RAM. So for the processing, we are not using a Java is a complex language. Scala people are going to be using here because this language is easy. Clear? Now today, easiest language everybody is using, the language is called Python. Even though Java is very popular language, but very complex. Why? Python, even though released in 1990, it was not so popular that time because everybody wanted to try C and C++, Java. But today, nobody wanted to perform complex operation, complex, languages I don't want to understand today. So Python became so popular in year 2000, 2010, 2020. Now we are in 2025. Even though it is released in 1990s, it is easy. Because of easiness, nobody wanted to code. Everybody wanted to have a no coding, low coding. Because of that, Python has become so popular today. Python is released in 1990s. People were not using that time. Java was so popular, but Java was very complex. Am I clear? So people have to learn a language today, means not Java, not C++, not a .NET today. Everybody is using Python. That is the reason full stack Python or Python language becomes so popular today. Why? It is easy. People does not want to code. People does not want to learn coding. Clear? So today we can write either Scala or we can write also Python program. Clear? So it is easy. Apache Spark where you have your large amount of data. Clear? So today we are talking about data maybe in files, data maybe in SQL, right? It may be megabyte of data. It may be GBs of data. It is a small data, right? It is medium size data. So data warehousing where we have terabyte of data and it is a large size data, right? This was a story. Then year 2000, after year 2000, you have a large amount of data, Excel data, double Excel or triple Excel data we are talking about. This kind of a data can be stored either in the Hadoop software or Hadoop is also gone. Today we are going to be using a Spark. Clear? So this is what is called petabyte, zettabyte, blah data. So after year 2000, we got this data. This kind of a data is called as a small data, right? This kind of a data is called as a big data. Remember this big data, and this is a small data. This data is completely only structured data. Structured means what? The data is going to be there in the table format, employee ID, employee name, employee salary. The data will be there in the table format. But now after year 2000, you have social media, you have a lot of things. So this will be structured data, this will be unstructured data. Unstructured means the photos, videos, audio clips, blah. You are going to be having semi-structured data. Clear? You have a structured data can be stored, unstructured data can be stored. Semi-structured data means a PDF file data, news articles data, XML data, PDF file data. Lot of varieties of data is going to be stored, but to very big amount of data. That kind of a data cannot be stored in your normal computers. Today, we're in 2025. Okay. So today we have only four type of data storing technologies. Those are called as files, maybe SQL or RDBMS, maybe data warehousing. The last one is Apache Hadoop or Apache Spark. Your data may be one of these machines. Your ICICI Bank data, your passport data, your Facebook data, Instagram data, YouTube data, any data we're talking about today, one of these four places your data is available. Remember that point. Clear? Your IT industry is going to be storing the data only here. Clear? If we store the data, afterwards, what is that we do? We are going to be running two applications on this data. One application is called AI. AI means artificial intelligence. It takes the data from either this, AI means artificial intelligence. One more application is called BI. What is BI? BI stands for business intelligence. Business intelligence is called as data analytics also. Clear? Artificial intelligence is called as machine learning or deep learning. Am I clear? So if you wanted to work with the data, you need to know SQL and data warehousing and Spark, Apache Spark today. So people who are gathering the data, collecting the data, storing the data, either maybe in SQL, maybe in data warehousing, maybe in Apache Spark, these guys are called as a data engineer. Okay, data engineer is the guy who's going to be collecting the data, storing the data, depends upon the size, maybe SQL, maybe in data warehousing, maybe in Apache Spark. Apache Spark is called as big data software. Am I clear? So data engineer is the team is going to be getting the data, cleaning the data, storing the data into the different platform, depends upon the size of the data. So this guy is called data engineer. Am I clear? Now, once you have the data, who's going to be using your data? Data scientists, maybe artificial intelligence guys are going to be using, or data analytics people are going to be using your data. Clear? Now let us understand what is data analytics. Right? Data analytics means it is also called as a business intelligence. So you should know, understand the past. Understand the past is called as data analytics or data engineering or BI, business intelligence. We are talking about the next one is called data science. Okay, it is also called as AI, artificial intelligence or machine learning. So, what is the meaning of this? This is prediction, predict the future. Okay, so both of them are not same. So one guy is talking about, understand the past. Amazon company wanted to know what was my sales. Amazon company will ask you what was my sales in India last 5 years. So they may be asking this question, right? Now the same question can be asked to the predictions. What is the prediction question? What will be my sales in India next 5 years? Now tell me, this kind of a questions can be answered with the help of AI and ML. This kind of a questions can be answered by the data analytics team or a data analyst, data scientist, data analyst. Both of them are going to be working on the data. But who's going to be supplying the data? Data engineering team. Clear? Data engineering team is going to be supplying the data. So you may be having what is the duty? Collecting the data and cleaning the data and storing the data. Where do you store? You may use SQL, you may use data warehousing, right? Or you may use Apache Spark. Apache Spark. Apache Spark today called as Azure Data Bricks, or you can say it is also called as Data Bricks today. Clear? So either you may store the data in SQL or in the data warehousing or Apache Spark, because earlier Apache Spark, what we had Apache Hadoop. Apache Hadoop is completely gone. Apache Hadoop is completely gone in 2006. It is failed because it is storing the data into the hard disk in Java language. Today, Apache Spark is there. Apache Spark is very faster because all the data will be stored in the RAM. For the processing purpose, we may use Scala or Python language, which are very easy. Now, today, Apache Spark is going to be taken over by Azure Databricks, or you can say Databricks. Databricks is released in year 2012. So, what Databricks is going to be doing? Databricks is nothing but Apache Spark. Databricks is going to be simply installing Apache Spark to store large amount of data. Clear? So today, when you say Databricks or Apache Spark, both of them are same only. Both of them are same only. When you say Databricks means it is nothing but Apache Spark only. Databricks is an agent which is going to be setting up a lot of Apache servers to store your large amount of data. For example, I wanted to conduct a wedding. So what I do, I have to go and look out for the function hall. I have to go and look out for the catering. I have to go look out for the cameraman, decoration, and travel agents, food, accommodation, everything I have to take care. Instead of I am looking out for everything, what I do, I go and I call event management team, right? So when I go and I talk to event management team, I'll tell my requirement. So they will organize the function halls, they will organize the cameramans, the makeup mans, they will organize the food and everything. Everything they are going to be managing. Clear? So the event manager is nothing but Databricks today. Clear? Databricks is going to be your event manager. You need hardware, you need software, you need what kind of a data to be stored. Everything will be taken care by the Databricks. When you go and talk to the Databricks is a event management company. It will give you Apache Spark systems, how many machines you need. So based on that, it is going to be installing Apache Spark so that you will be able to go and store the data. Apache Spark will be installed. End of the day, your function will be happening in the function hall, but directly you're not going to go to Apache Spark and booking it. You will be able to go to Databricks. What is Databricks? Databricks is a event management company. Clear? So now everything could be on premises, everything could be on cloud. Yeah, am I clear? You may have any file can be on premises. So SQL also on premises. Data warehousing also on premises. You have to maintain your own servers or your Hadoop also or Spark. Hadoop is not there today. We have a Spark. All of them are on premises. All these are available in your Azure. All these are available in Google Cloud Platform. All these are available in your Azure as well. Clear? So that is what you got to understand. On premises means your own servers. Azure means it is a rental platform, rental data warehousing, cloud data warehouse, cloud SQL, cloud Spark, cloud Excel files. Clear? So on this data, two kinds of applications are going to be working. One is called AI, the other one is called BI. Now, we are working with the Chart GPT today. Chart GPT is AI application getting a large amount of data from where all the data it is going to be bringing to the Spark only. It is having 500 petabyte of data. This kind of a data is similar to 1000 Himalayas size. Remember that. What is the size of this data we're talking about? Spark is storing today because the Chat GPT is AI application. It is Gen AI application. It is not a AI application. AI application is going to be doing the predictions. Gen AI application is a type of AI application which is not going to be predicting anything, which is going to be generating what? Generating a text or an image or a audio or a video or a sound. Clear? Chat GPT, Copilot, all the applications are going to be getting the data from the big data. What kind of data we can store? Either structured data or we can store unstructured data, videos, audios, images, blah, 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 or semi-structured data. What is the size of the data we're going to be talking about today? All the data is going to be petabyte of data. It is equivalent to 1000 Himalayas of data. When you take a DVD, cut a DVD, cut the data into DVD, store the DVDs in a stack. So all the DVDs putting together will be 1000 Himalaya size. That is the data we're talking about. So today, so all the Chat GPT data is going to be available in your Apache Spark only. You don't have any other storages today in IT industry. Only four places your old data, your IT industry data is going to be stored. Maybe in a file, maybe in SQL, maybe in data warehousing, maybe in Apache Spark. Clear? All of them may be on premises, all of them may be cloud. Cloud means rental platform. You can have Excel, need not install. You can go Google spreadsheet is a cloud Excel. right? You can go to SQL, you can install, or Azure SQL. What is the meaning? SQL is installed in Azure rental platform. Java, Azure Java, right? What is Azure Java? Java in the rental platform. Data warehousing on premises, Azure Data Warehouse. What is the difference? Azure means it's a rental platform. So Spark, clear? Spark is, you can buy servers, you can install Apache Spark there, or you can go to Azure company, you can get the rental hardware and you can ask them to install Apache Spark, you are going to be making the rental amount. So everything can be on premises today, everything can be on rental today. Azure or AWS company or Google company, everywhere we have data warehousing. Amazon data warehouse, Azure data warehouse, we have a Google data warehouse, Google Spark, Google GCP, Google Cloud platform. You can get the Spark structure, Spark cluster, blah, blah, blah. Clear? So when you have a large amount of data, who's going to be using your data? Maybe AI or BI people are going to be using. BI means business intelligence. That is what is called data analytics. Clear? Data analytics team wanted to have your data. Data may be coming from one of these sources. Who's going to be organizing the data? A data engineer. That is you and me is going to be working today. You may be working with the SQL, data warehousing. You may be working with the, Apache Spark. Apache Spark is called, Azure Databricks. Clear? So that is what you got to understand. But what is Azure Data Factory? Let me tell you that. Okay. So I want to tell you the company. You take any company today. So let us talk about Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory is an ETL software. What is the ETL software? ETL stands for extracting the data and transform and load the data. So transformation means what? Transformation means clean the data or change the data. So what will happen if you go to any company? You may be going to Amazon company, you may be going to any company. The data of Amazon company will not be available in a single location. Some of the data may be in India, some of the data may be in US, maybe in UK, some of the data is in Dubai, because they are running the business all over the world and they are using different environments. So some of the data may be in SAP, some of the data may be in a .NET, some of the data in Excel files, some of the data in SQL, some of the data is in Java, Android, blah, blah, blah. Right? So the company has, on-premises, cloud environments, blah, blah, blah. And the size also, big data, accuracy. Accuracy means how clean the data is. So you may have low accuracy data, medium accuracy data, high accuracy. You accuracy means how clean the data is. Okay. Sometimes we have a lot of duplicated data, a lot of misspelled data, a lot of blank values. So a lot of data that has to be merged. So a lot of operations you need to do. Data has a lot of challenges. Amazon has a data, but this data got a lot of issues because all the data is not available in a single location. That is the challenge. The entire data is not available in a single premises. Maybe this, or you may be having an Azure, maybe the data may be in AWS, maybe in a Google Cloud platform. So data may be in on premises or the cloud. Clear? So data may not be cleaned. So what I have to do, I have to go and get the data from different location. So I will be able to go to these. The data may be in SAP, data may be in Azure, data may be in cloud, right? Data may be in Excel sheets. All the data I will be able to bring with the help of a software called ADF, Azure Data Factory, which is nothing but a ETL software. Extracting the data from here and here, all the data you will be able to get it. You will be able to store all the data into the, maybe in a data warehousing or maybe in anywhere else. Clear? All the data you will be able to store or all the data. If you're not able to store the data, either you may be able to store the data into the cloud platform like Azure, right? Or GCP, or you may be storing the data into the Amazon Web Services. Somewhere you should be able to go and store your data. Clear? So what is ADF? ADF is completely called as Azure Data Factory, which is going to be getting the data. Getting the data means it is going to be called as a transport service. For example, lorry service. I have tomatoes in Delhi, I have tomatoes in Bangalore, I have tomatoes in, let us say, Hyderabad. I wanted to get all the tomatoes and put it in the common place, centralized place. What I do? I have to use a transport service. So I need to go collect all the tomatoes from different places. I'll be sending transport service lorries. Lorries are going to bring all the tomatoes and storing them in a centralized place. Clear? So the centralized place will be data warehouse, maybe something cloud. Okay, inside the cloud, how do you store the data? We're going to be using blob and data lake. So what is a blob and data lake? I will be able to talk about later, or you will be able to get the data. You may be storing the data into the data warehousing. Data warehousing means, I told you, large amount of hardware, but hardware is rental hardware or on-premises hardware. Anything is fine. Clear? You can create a data warehouse on own, buy the bigger hardware, install SQL software, and it is your own hardware, own data warehouse. Or you can go to Azure, get the bigger hardware, ask Azure to install SQL software. So it is a rental Azure data warehouse. Clear? So you have the bigger hardware, all the data is going to be going there and going to be sitting there. Clear? Or if you're not able to store the data, for example, lot of files, you have videos, audios, lot of data you have, that kind of a data warehousing cannot store. That is the disadvantage of data warehouse, because data warehouse can store only structured data. But if you have unstructured data, semi-structured data, where should I store? Either you have to store them in a folder and files, or instead of that, now in the Google, you can go to Azure, you can go to AWS, you can go to any cloud platform. You will be able to store the unstructured data, semi-structured data with the help of data lake and the blob. What is data lake? What is a blob? We'll discuss later. So if you wanted to get the data from different places, and if you want to store the data, ADF can be used. ADF is similar to your SSIS and Informatica, right? SSIS was completely on-premises software, which was cannot communicate with the cloud, right? Cloud means, so SSIS was very old software. ADF is released in 2015. Okay, UDF is released in 2015 and Azure is released in 2010. It is recently, it is released 2015. This software is launched as part of Azure. But before ADF, we had SSIS. It is also ETL tool. Why we cannot use SSIS? Because it is released in 2005. This guy cannot talk to cloud. This guy cannot talk to big data. This guy cannot talk to cloud. That is the reason SSIS, even though it is a Microsoft ETL tool, this cannot be used today to work with the cloud platforms, or if you want to work with the big data, SSIS cannot be used. SSIS is also very popular ETL tool. Before ADF we had, it is on-premises ETL tool. It is released with the SQL Server. Clear? In which year? 2005. But ADF is released within the Azure in 2015. So why ADF? Why not SSIS? Means SSIS on premises only. It can get the data from on premises. It load the data. ETL means data importing exporting services, or you can say ETL stands for the data import and export service, transport service. Get the data, copy the data. It may be it can go anywhere and get the data. Maybe US, it may be in India, it may be in Dubai, it can go anywhere and connect online, get the data. It can go and clean the data. Transform means you clean the data and all the data can be loaded. So all the structured data can be loaded here. Unstructured, semi-structured data can be loaded into the your cloud platforms. Inside that you have a blob and data lake. Later class, we're going to be talking about what is a blob and data lake. So why ADF? ADF is completely is a data importing, exporting software. It has to get the data from one place and it's going to be dumping the data to another place. In your in your body, there is a ETL device. What is it? Your heart. Your heart is pumping the blood from one place to another place. Your heart is ETL. It is ADF. It is SSIS. Clear? So pumping the blood from one platform to another. Clear? If the heart is not there, pumping is not going to happen. So you need to understand ADF is also pumping the data from one place to another place. It is a water pump. Clear? If you have a water pump, you have a water in the well, you have to send the water to the tank. What you do? You connect it to the motor pump and switch on the motor. All the water can go from your well to your tank. Clear? So ADF and SSIs are nothing but water motor pumps only. They are called data pumps. Am I clear? So ADF is completely cloud-based, ETL software. So if you wanted to copy paste the data, and if you wanted to pump the data from on premises to cloud, cloud to cloud, or from any location to any destination, we can use ADF, Azure Data Factory, no coding, low coding software. No coding, low coding software. Anybody can work with ADF. Only prerequisite is that you need to have SQL. That is what you need to know. Am I clear? So if you wanted to, learn ADF, prerequisite is only SQL. After ADF, I'm going to be teaching you ADB. ADB means Apache Spark. We are going to be learning. So ADF will be 30 hours course. Clear? No coding, low coding course. From tomorrow, we are going to be learning SQL as well as ADF. SQL software I'm going to be, installing in your machines tomorrow. We'll talk about how to install SQL Server and how to open a Azure subscription. Tomorrow we'll talk about that. Yeah, am I clear? So today I spoken about what is data analytics, what is data engineering, and what is data warehousing, and where the entire data is going to be stored, and all of them we have discussed. We spoken about what is Apache Spark overview level only, right? So why Hadoop is failed, I have discussed. Why Apache Spark is popular. Apache Spark today called as Databricks. Databricks is a event management company. When you launch Databricks, Databricks is going to be installing Apache Spark only. Databricks is a event management company, right? It will go and install all the servers and machines ready, so that all items are ready. You can go and store the data. Clear? If you have a small amount of data, so you can use here. Where? Files. Large amount of data, medium data means SQL. Large amount of data, data warehousing. Extra large data, you are going to be using Apache Spark. Apache Spark is called as today Apache Spark is called as Azure Data Bricks. Yeah, clear. We'll talk about what is data bricks in detail later. So this is what is called what is data engineering. So as part of data engineering, we are going to be talking about these technologies, guys. So compulsorily you have to learn SQL, Python, Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Bricks. Azure Synapses is nothing but your Azure data warehousing technology only. And you have to know data warehousing concept. All these are going to be asked in the interview. 95% of the interview questions are from our syllabus only, right? You need not go here and there. I'm going to be giving you assignments, case studies, demos, lot of practice work will be there. I'm going to be conducting daily, Monday to Friday, we'll have live classes, and remaining things you will be able to get in the videos. You will get the payment link after the class. You can join for either single one, or you can go in for entire bundle, right? Instead of learning a single one, you will be paying extra amount. You can take the bundle of courses and pay in the installments. Okay, the payment details will be sent either today or tomorrow morning. You will be able to get it. So this is a complete data engineering course. So from tomorrow we're going to be starting Azure Data Factory. Along with that, daily you need to take one SQL video and you need to watch. Clear? SQL software we are going to be installing in tomorrow, because you need to practice a lot of SQL, right? On premises SQL will have instead of Azure SQL, because Azure SQL will be costly. You need to pay for that rental platform, right? So on-premises SQL we can have, we will be able to install it. And tomorrow I'll show you how to install SQL. What is the laptop configuration? Everything I'll be able to talk about. If you have any questions, you can ask me, guys. Now, from tomorrow, it will be paid course and you will get the payment link. Once you make the payment, you will get a new meeting link. With the new meeting link, you can join in tomorrow's class. If you have any questions, if you wanted to talk to me directly, I have given my number, right? Anybody wanted to talk to me directly? So this is my number. So directly you can call me anytime, right? Sir, this is my question. Or I would like to, change my career. I am from non-IT background. I want to get into IT, or I'm having 10 years of banking experience. I'm a housewife. Can I get into IT sector, or can I learn data engineering? If not data analytics, can I learn this course? Or what are the best courses I can learn? If you have any questions regarding IT industry, because many non-IT people think that you cannot get into IT industry. I'm a BA guy, BCom guy. I'm having a distance education. I think many people told me that I cannot get into IT. That is completely bullshit. Anybody, any graduate can get into IT industry today. Only thing is that you need to have proper mentor and guru. That's it. If you have proper mentor and guru, you can easily get into IT sector. Clear? You can learn data analytics, data engineering. Minimum 3 to 6 months time you need to keep, and daily 2 hours of practice is needed. SQL is the backbone for data engineering and data analytics. Clear? So data analytics, we're going to be having morning classes, evening classes. Data analytics, you can have Power BI, SQL, blah, blah, blah. Data engineering, cloud fundamentals, ADF, ADB, Apache, Spark, Synapses, all of them we're going to be understanding. You can choose either of them. Data analytics will be no coding, low coding, but data engineering, Apache Spark, Databricks, where you have to write Python coding. Little bit coding will be there in data engineering, but Azure Data Factory is completely no coding, low coding. Chalo, guys. Any questions? So today is the last and final demo. This is the guy from the non-IT background, 2012 passed out. He got 8 lakhs to 23 lakhs salary package, right? So his name is Mukesh. You can talk to him if you want to talk to him. I can give you his number as well, guys. Chal.